Hello YouTubers and fellow hams and new hams. It was suggested to me on the Facebook group that I do a video on how to make that first contact when you first get your license. I think that's an excellent idea, so that's what we're going to talk about today. So you've worked hard and you've studied and you went and took that test and you got your ham ticket. You're excited. Hey, I'm there. I'm ready to get on the air. Well, how do you do that? How do you make that first contact? More than likely, you have a technician's license. That's where most people start. And more than likely, that first contact you're going to make is going to be on a 2-meter repeater. I'm going to assume that you've already got a radio and that you've already had some help setting it up and programming in your local repeaters. That would be a subject for a different video. So you've got your radio. It's all set up. How do you make that first contact? Well, there are 3 probable ways that you're going to make that first contact, and I'm going to cover all 3. First off, it would be handy to have a pencil and maybe a notepad or a piece of paper handy. Us old-time hams, we've been doing this for a while. Call signs just stick in our brains. We associate them with people, with faces, with names. But as a new ham, you don't have that skill yet. You're going to have a difficult time remembering call signs, and you're probably going to have a difficult time associating them with people initially. That comes with time. So what you want to do is you want to have a piece of paper handy, and as you talk to people, write down their call sign, write down their name. Just the act of writing it down is a memory primer. It'll help you to remember. And then maybe make a note or two, call sign Jim likes to play with antennas, or something you talk about, so that you'll have a little reference as you continue to talk to these people over time, and eventually it'll just stick. So if we're going to make that first contact, you're probably going to do it on a repeater. So the first thing you're going to want to do is turn your radio on and listen. You don't want to butt into the middle of a conversation that's ongoing. That would be rude. Think of it like walking up to a couple of people in a room that are having a conversation about something, and you wouldn't just walk up and butt right in and say, hi, No, first thing you want to do is you want to listen. And if the repeater seems quiet, you want to listen a little bit more. There's always the chance that there's a conversation going on and one guy's mobile and maybe he's shifting gears or navigating traffic or something, and there's just a pause. So listen for a good 10-15 seconds and make sure the repeater's actually quiet. And if it is quiet, you can simply throw your call sign out there. Just take your radio, key down, wait about a half a second so that the repeater picks you up and comes up, and then say, "This is KB9RLW, listening on 9-1. Obviously use your call. What you're doing is you're just letting people know that you're there. A lot of times hams will have their radio off in the corner scanning through the local repeaters, or they'll be doing something else, and they'll hear a new call sign come up like that. And when they hear a new call sign, they're more likely to come back to you and say hello, because one thing us hams love is we love being that first contact for somebody. Believe me, whoever's out there that comes back to you is going to be enthusiastic about talking to you when they realize that they are your first contact. That's a thrill. It's fun. You might notice that I also gave the frequency that I was listening on, or part of the frequency that I was listening on, when I said listening on 9-1. Hams will generally refer to a repeater by the last 2 digits of its frequency. So if the output is on 146.88, they'll say listening on 88, or I'm on 88, or I'll meet you over on 88. It's just a way of referring to the local repeaters in a short verbal fashion. The other reason for announcing the frequency you're on is another ham might have his radio scanning through the local repeaters. And by announcing which one you're on, if he didn't catch sight of the radio, he'll know which channel to go to come back to you on. So just do that. Throw your call sign out there. Say you're listening. It's likely that somebody's going to come back to you. They're going to give you a call, and you can write down their call, and you can come back to their call and say hello, and my name is so-and-so, and I'm here in whatever your city is, and I just got my license, and you're my first contact. And believe me, the conversation will just flow from there. Most hams are very friendly guys, open, helpful, and they're going to be excited for you that you got a license and that they're your first contact. So that's one way you might make your first contact. The second way you might make your first contact is if you turn on the radio and there's already a conversation going on the repeater. There's a couple of guys there talking. Well, again, listen. Just listen to them. Take your piece of paper, write down their call signs. If they mention their names, write down their names. And when their conversation is over, you know, if one of them says, well, I've got to go, I've got something to do, 73, and he drops it, don't call him because he's obviously got something else to do. But the other guy, after the repeater drops, give it a second, pick up your radio, and W9ABC, this is KB9RLW, good morning, or afternoon, or evening. Again, he's going to realize that you're a new ham or you're a new call sign for his area, so he's likely to come back to you, and then you can tell him, well, I just got my ticket and you're my first contact, and again, the conversation is just going to flow. He's going to be thrilled to be your first contact. So don't be nervous. These guys are all pretty friendly, and you already have something in common. You both like radio. So what's the third way you might make that first contact? Well, most local clubs will have a net in the area. There'll be some kind of a traffic net or a roundtable net or some weekly or nightly net on one of the repeaters where people get together and just, you know, talk. You know, it's like a roundtable. It's like a gathering of friends. And if you know of a net in your area, that's another great way to make that first contact. Tune in for the net. Listen to the way that it's handled, the protocol, the etiquette. Usually they will start the net by asking for check-ins, and everybody kind of spaces that out and just tosses in their call sign for the check-in. And then the net controller will go through that list and give everybody a chance to speak. And they usually just, you know, hey guys, you know, today I had to mow the lawn and I ran across some gopher holes in the yard or something. You know, they just sort of talk about stuff. And when it gets to you, you can say, hi, my name is Bill, and this is I just got my ticket, and this is my first contact, or my first activity, or my first hello, you know. And again, you're going to get, the conversation's going to flow. They're all going to be thrilled, they're all going to be happy for you, and they're all going to be supportive and happy to talk to you. So it'll be easy. And then from that point on, you start to make friends, you know, and the future contacts get easier and a little less nervous and more fun. And you start to get to know people, and you start to develop a knack for remembering call signs, and it just becomes fun. So I hope this has been helpful to you new hams out there, and for those of you that just got your ticket, hey, welcome to the hobby. We're all happy you're here. So 73, everybody, have a good day. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. It helps me out. Bye-bye.